Hello, magical people. How's it going out there? My name is Meg Moonbeam, and welcome back to my YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. Very happy to be here with you all today to do a special live video all about the retrograde city that we are now in from August to September 2024. So we're going to talk all about Mercury, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Chiron, all conjunct around the same time. So hope you're all doing well. Let me know in the live chat or the comments below if you guys are feeling this retrograde city energy, because I am definitely feeling it. And this video, I think, was originally scheduled a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And then I had to reschedule it, of course, because it was about the retrogrades. And yeah, so before we get into it, I think I already said, please remember to like, share, subscribe. I can't even remember what I'm saying during the retrogrades. Also, I just did a astrology of abundance workshop over on the Beyond Mystic Academy. I'll bring that up to show you guys here. That was this past Sunday. I hosted this live workshop on the Beyond Mystic Academy, and it was all about the astrology of abundance for all the 12 signs for 2024 and beyond. So I shared with you guys the most important abundance financial transits for the rest of 24 going into 2025. And then I did abundance readings for each of the 12 signs. And it went for over 4.5 hours. And I had a lot of fun. And I hope that everybody who took part in it live really enjoyed. And if you still want to watch the workshop, you can watch the replay. Go to the link in the description box of this video to check it out. And also, I'm very excited that my husband Jens and I are going to be hosting a soul family retreat weekend in Canada, my home country, at the end of September. And it's going to be in the beautiful Niagara region of Ontario at the Bliss Haven Retreat Center. So if you'd like to sign up or get full details for our Canada retreat weekend, you can go to my website, megmoonbeam.com. We've got the whole itinerary, the whole information of everything that we're going to be doing. Jens is going to do a live lecture on his book, A World in Transition. That's going to be very exciting. We're going to do lots of sound healing, drumming, singing, ecstatic dance. Gonna host ecstatic dance parties, and I'm gonna do my first live astrology lecture called Prepare Yourself, Astrology of 2025 and Beyond. So it's going to be a really fun weekend with Jens, myself, and friends from the local area. So if you'd like to check that out, again, go over to my website, megmoonbeam.com. And if you'd like to register, you can email Jens at jenspateo@hotmail.com to register. So lots of fun things going on. But today in this video, we are going to focus on the retrograde city, which feels like it is cray cray. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sitting here and in my office space, and the window is kind of broken next to me. So hopefully nothing crazy flies into my office while I'm doing this retrograde city video. We've got like a resident owl that lives on the property, some resident bats and bees and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, just asking that all the creatures in our countryside area stay outside and don't come in the window during this live. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what this retrograde city means for the collective, and then go through each of the 12 signs, what it's going to mean for your sun, moon, and rising signs as well. So let me bring up the chart for today. And we are, as I'm filming this video, at August 6th, 2024. And this chart is from a few hours ago, but I've just been really busy today, you guys. So it's okay. We're looking at the chart from today, but it's just from a few hours ago. And we got the sun at 14 degrees of Leo. Moon is in Virgo, Mercury is retrograde, and also Venus has ingressed into Virgo. So we've got a stellium of planets in Virgo, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, the asteroid Chiron, and Mercury all retrograde in pretty much the whole month of August. Mercury will be retrograde until August 28th. And then as we get into September, Mercury will be direct by then. But on September 1st, the same day that Pluto goes back into Capricorn for the very last time in our lives, Uranus is going to be going retrograde. And Uranus is at his fall position, his most unstable position of Taurus, and conjunct the demon star Algol. So this is just like batshit crazy astrology at the moment, you guys. And I'm very curious to hear if you feel like sharing in the live chat or the comments below. Put your sun, moon, and rising sign and let me know what's going on in life for you, because I'm very curious to see how all of the different signs are handling this energy. So, you know, retrogrades are when a planet looks like it's moving backwards, but it's actually stationed in its orbit and it's going in a circle towards Earth. And so it looks like it's moving backwards from our Earth's perspective, but it's actually going in a circle, coming closer to Earth than it normally is, and then going back, moving in direct motion after it's retrograde. So we actually feel planets' influence stronger when they're retrograde because they're close to the Earth. And when the outer planets are retrograde, and we got 3 of them retrograde at the moment right now, it's more of a subtle influence that we can be feeling as a collective. But when we've got the inner planets retrograde, like Mercury, we can definitely be feeling it more stronger. You know, Mercury rules our day-to-day activities, our day-to-day communications, our gadgets, our cars, all forms of communication, and social media. So there's a lot, and also our minds. Mercury is our mind and our mental capacity. So it can be very funky energies when Mercury is a retrograde. It can feel like we can't think straight, we can't speak straight, the window is broken beside you. I broke my phone screen today as well. So I don't know if it's because I'm an astrologer or what, but I just really notice the retrogrades very intensely every time they have it. And you guys are saying in the comments, you're having it as well. Melissa says, having major internet issues, not sure if it's related, LOL. Well, I'm sure with Uranus being at a fall position and going to be going retrograde soon, and Mercury retrograde, that can have to do with the internet issues. Maria, hi Maria, says Virgo sun, Gemini rising, Pisces moon here, decent energy, trouble speaking, LOL. Actually, so far, better than most times. Nice. Well, for you, Maria, as a Gemini rising, your chart ruled by Mercury, so you probably definitely feel them very strong. And Tracy is here. Hello, Tracy. Hope you're doing well. You say Aquarius sun, Taurus moon, Aries rising, both Mercury, Uranus, and Pluto retrograde. So far, feel fine. I'm happy to hear that you're feeling fine, Tracy. Yeah, a lot of you guys saying you can't speak, you're having trouble speaking. Very, very interesting. K Smiles 60 says, it's been nuts over here. I'm a bundle of emotions. Yeah, we're also having solar flares, major solar flares as well. Did you guys hear about that? I'll bring that up to show you guys. Some X-class solar flares have been going off too. The sun fires off 2 powerful X flares in less than 2 hours. Oh my goodness. Solar activity is expected to remain high this week. X flares are the strongest solar flare class. Today's first X blast, which launched from a sunspot called blah, 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 I won't say this, peaked around 9:40 a.m. Eastern time. Less than 2 hours later, another sunspot X flare flared off. Solar flares are often accompanied by huge eruptions of solar plasma. And we can also possibly be having some aurora activity as well. So very, very interesting. And of course, solar flares, when we get solar flares, we're getting huge activations from the sun. We're getting huge DNA upgrades and ascension symptoms because the sun represents our consciousness and our life force. And the sun is our creative and really creator energy that we have, right? And it's the sun that all of our beautiful planets and heavenly bodies are rotating around in our solar system and is guiding us through the photon band, where we're closer to galactic center at the moment, which is why we're entering the age of Aquarius. The energy is getting higher and higher and more positive on the planet. So it's everything happening at the same time. Crazy, crazy stuff. So I'm curious to see, do you guys feel the effects of the solar flares when we have them? Because I definitely feel it. I feel like my dreams are more active, can feel more tired than usual. And it's important to get a lot of rest when we do have solar flares happening. So hi, Marie Jose, nice to see you too in the chat here. So going back to what are retrogrades all about? Well, you know, planets look like they're going backwards. They're not actually going backwards, but we can feel their influence stronger. And retrogrades in astrology represent a time of review and reflection and taking a sacred pause in whatever areas of life are ruled by the planet that is retrograde, and whatever areas of life are ruled by the sign that the planet is in. So it's a lot of different planets, and it's Chiron, the asteroid. So it's really overall in life, this retrograde city of August and September, really asking us to stop, take a pause, don't force anything, don't initiate anything new unless you like really feel guided to or really need to. Of course, life can happen. And it's important to have your shit in order, as I've been saying a lot lately. Getting prepped, okay? Because we're about to have Pluto go back into Capricorn. And I know people laugh at me because I talk about that all the time, but that is going to be no joke when Pluto is back into Capricorn, September to November, okay? So being prepped up in every way, if you guys know what I mean. Got to be careful because I'm on YouTube and Rumble at the moment. So, you know, specifically, I want to talk in this retrograde city video about the Mercury retrograde, because we really feel the interplanetary retrogrades a lot stronger than the outer planetary retrogrades. I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeling like Pluto is like acting more like he's in Capricorn at the moment. It feels like we're really in that Pluto and Capricorn transit still, and we're not going to be really seeing the effects, obviously, it kind of goes without saying, of Pluto and Aquarius, you know, the cryptocurrency rising, the really stepping into a new future, a lot of people waking up at the same time. Not going to happen until after November, when Pluto makes his full ingress into Aquarius and is out of Capricorn finally. So this Mercury retrograde is interesting because it's happening in two signs. The retrograde of Mercury started on Sunday, August 4th, with Mercury at 4 degrees of Virgo. And this retrograde is going to go all the way until 21 degrees of Leo. So see where in your personal astrology chart, if you'd like to, you have 4 degrees of Virgo to 21 degrees of Leo, because that's going to be an area of life that is really in alignment for you to take a sacred pause in, to review, to reflect, to organize. I keep hearing from Spirit the word, where have we, well, not the word, the question, where have we been procrastinating? Okay. With this Mercury retrograde first being in Virgo before it goes into Leo, Virgo is all about having your shit in order, being practical, paying attention to all the details, right? Virgos are not very big procrastinators. Okay. That's one of their strong suits, is they've got their shit all together. I know I keep saying get your shit together, but that's really the energy of what it is. So seeing where you have 4 degrees of Virgo to 21 degrees of Leo in your chart, is that an area that you've been perhaps procrastinating in any sort of way? Is there something from the past? Because retrogrades can also bring things up from the past. Is there something from the past that is coming forward in that area of life that is important for you to be paying attention to at this time? Okay. And then also when the Mercury retrograde goes into the sign of Leo, that's going to be very much around reviewing and reflecting our sense of fun, our sense of creativity, playfulness in whatever area we have, Leo 29 degrees to 21 degrees. So I always find it interesting when we have retrogrades that happen in more than 2 signs, because it's like 2 different archetypes that we're working with during that retrograde. And there's a lot we're reviewing on. There's a lot we're reflecting. There's a lot that we're working through. So, you know, it's interesting that in the chart of the USA, the United States of America, in their chart, they have the sign of Virgo intercepted in their 9th house. So for the USA, foreign past connections are very highlighted. Foreign past diplomatic connections and people can be very highlighted. And the transit Mercury retrograde will be in sextile to the Venus-Jupiter conjunction in the USA's chart. So this is, for the US, good news and developments regarding court cases, politicians, diplomats, and people that had a role in the past coming back, and something is coming forward into completion. In the chart of Canada, Canada also has the sign of Virgo intercepted. So similar to the USA, but Canada's having Virgo in the 6th house. So past day-to-day service workers are highlighted, as well as health, wellness, mandates that may have happened in Canada in recent years. Transit Mercury retrograde will be conjunct the natal Mars of Canada for most of the Mercury retrograde. So that's going to be really putting a focus on men, a focus on Mars-ruled areas of life. We've been having really intense wildfires recently in Canada, in Alberta, I believe. So there could be some truth being revealed about what's going on with those wildfires, what's going on with the firefighters, the policemen, the men. We could see some men from the past that are service workers starting to come forward, maybe share their experience of something from the past in Canada that's very prominent and prolific. And what else? We've got Kamala Harris is going to have this Mercury retrograde conjunct her natal Venus in her 3rd house from mid to late retrograde period. So there's some things in her personal transits, and also in, you know, the USA's transit with the full moon in Aquarius that we're going to be having on August 19th, exactly conjunct the moon of the US. I'm seeing certain things possibly highlighting that Kamala Harris is not going to be I really don't think so astrologically, a Democratic nominee for a very long time moving forward. So we'll see what happens with that. So I also feel like Spirit wanted me to say that, and I know I've said this before, but just saying it again because it's important, not forcing anything during a retrograde period, and really taking time to be in the present moment. Don't overstretch yourself. Don't overwork yourself. And I'm also saying this to me as I'm saying this, because as a Capricorn moon, I can have a tendency to sometimes overwork myself and just be like a nonstop worker bee. But it's funny, ever since Mercury has been retrograde the past couple of days, I've felt more naturally just like slowing down, looking on things that I've maybe been procrastinating on that need to be taken care of. So really letting yourself relaxed, review, and reflect during this time. 8th house alchemy. Hello, soul sister, says, love your hair up. Meg, you're so lovely and versatile. Aw, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't usually do my hair up, but we're having like very hot weather here in Belgium, so need to put the hair up because it's hot, hot, hot. So before I get into the readings for each of the signs for this retrograde city, I'm going to pull some cards for us for the collective of light workers and way showers of the age of Aquarius that we are. What is our divine guidance from the universe, all that supports us for our highest good, as we step into this retrograde city, which is going to be August and September? So how can we work with this energy? What is an alignment for us to focus on? Ooh. And I'm pulling from, okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. Pulling from my Star Codes Astro deck. And also, I've been really feeling my Healing Waters deck as well. Let's see what we got here. We got the Granddaddy Saturn card coming out, and that's one of the planets that are retrograde. That is retrograde, rather. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Healing Waters. Interesting. Okay, there's a theme. There's a theme with these cards. There's a big theme. I'm hearing what have you not taken care of that is holding you back? Actually, I should be saying it. What have we not fully taken care of that is holding us back? Okay. It's really important during this retrograde to be honest with yourself about what you're energetically carrying, right? So if every single day for the past 6 months, there's been something on your to-do list and you haven't done it yet, and every single day you wake up and you go, okay, I'll just do that tomorrow. Okay, I'll just do that next week. That's something that you're actually energetically carrying with you every day, that is a load that can weigh us down. So checking in with yourself of what has been weighing you down, right? We've got the Saturn card. When Saturn comes up, that's no joke, right? That's Granddaddy Saturn looking down on us saying there's something that you need to get your shit together in regards to. And right now, we don't just have Saturn retrograde. We've got Saturn retrograde in square to Jupiter. And we're going to be having that aspect for the next over year until October 2025, if I'm remembering correctly at the top of my head. So we're really feeling the weight of Saturn for the whole next year with this square to Jupiter. And we're really feeling like, I don't know if you guys notice when you have a Saturn return or when you have a very strong Saturn transit, we can be more hard on ourselves. We can feel more heavy. We can really feel the weight of when we're not taking care of the things that we need to take care of practically. Saturn makes us feel the weight of that, right? And I hear like Saturn saying it's different for each of us individually based on our signs, based on what we each have happening in our life. But what is it that you need to take care of? And pay attention to the first thing that comes up for you, or the first few things that come up for you when I say that. Okay? Because there's definitely something up with that. Okay, and then there's a big theme in these cards. We've got Sagittarius. We've got fifth house. This is very creative. This is very expansive. This is very positive. So like Saturn is making us feel the heaviness of the things we need to take care of, because the universe wants us to be free. The universe wants us to expand. The universe wants us to have fun and be in a positive, feel-good vibration moving forward. And we've got similar messages coming up in the Healing Waters cards. We've got the Sirens and the Mother of the Salt Waters. Passion, wild love, open your heart, let love in. And the fifth house card also says passion. The fifth house is all about passion, right? If we've got these weights holding us down, we're not going to feel inspired to be in our passions. You can't energetically handle it, right? And as I'm saying this to you guys, I'm also saying it to myself. I'm also going through this big time right now. It's like as a magical kind of person, I don't always like to deal with the practical side, even though I'm a moon in Capricorn, even though I have a Taurus rising. I've got a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, and I got a ninth house stellium. So I'd rather just fly away and not deal with that stuff. But sometimes we need to deal with our structures of life and the reality checks that are coming up. And Saturn is one of the planets retrograde. So that's very important right now. And as we deal with those things, it makes us more passionate. It makes us more creative. This is so cool because these cards from the Healing Waters deck, I've never pulled before. Mother of the Salt Waters and the Sirens. Use your voice, expansion, freedom. Okay, this is actually kind of crazy. I just realized this right now. We pulled the Sagittarius card and it says expand. And then from the other deck, we pulled the Sirens and it says expansion. And as I said, we pulled the 5th house passion card. And the Mother of Salt Waters says passion. Passion and expansion is available to us now. But we got to take care of what we've been procrastinating on, what we've not been paying attention to practically, because it's weighing us down. Weighing us down. Wow. And we've also got the Healing Lagoon. Rejuvenate, recovery, time to heal. It's safe to stop. That's like a perfect retrograde city card. It's safe to stop, time to heal, recovery, rejuvenate. When's the last time that you really did something that, can you guys hear there's motorcycle dudes outside going crazy? When's the last time you did something that was actually really healing and nourishing for yourself to help you with your soul development? Spending time in water is really good right now. Baths, salt baths, taking a shower, going into the ocean, going into a river, going into a lake, working with the waters to help us move through these big energies. These are really big transformational times in this retrograde city. Big, big energy. Lakeside Laura says, boom. Yeah, boom. I love how the cards are always in alignment with what we're talking about with the transits. So, okay. I'm having like something going on with my throat right now. I have been talking a lot lately, but it's feeling like a little bit dry. So I'm not going to make the video too long today. So we'll start with the sign by sign readings for this retrograde city. And we'll start with the Aries. Okay. Excuse me. All right, Aries, sun, moon, and rising. What do you guys got going on over here? You guys have Mercury retrograde currently in your 6th house, and it's going to be also moving into your 5th house. So Aries, this is a perfect time for you as we're having the retrograde city in August with Mercury in Virgo in your 6th house of Virgo to really be reviewing and reflecting on your health, your self-care, and your day-to-day routines. This is actually, some people say to me, Meg, it's Mercury retrograde. Do I have to cancel my health appointment? Personally, different astrologers will say different things. I think it's actually good to go to the dentist, to go to the doctor, not necessarily have a major surgery or procedure during a Mercury retrograde, but to check up on your health is actually, I think, a good thing to do. Or if there's something you've been procrastinating on health-wise or health routine-wise, that's important to be paying attention to at this time. Also paying attention to your pets. Is there anything going on with your pets, Aries, that need to be taken care of or that you need to review and reflect on? That can be coming up for you. And when the Mercury retrograde moves into Leo, which I think it starts on August 14th, if I'm remembering correctly, until August 28th, that's going to be in your 5th house. So you're going to be feeling really creative, actually. And it's good to be connecting to your inner child at that time, seeing what your inner child needs, moving forward for your highest good, maybe starting to do a creative project that you haven't done for a while, that you perhaps stopped doing. So it's really looking back on your inner child, your creativity, and your sense of fun in life, and how you can bring more fun for yourself and into the world. So, sending lots and lots of love to you, Aries, and wishing you a very, very magical retrograde city. Okay, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and risings. You guys are having the Mercury retrograde in your fifth house and also in your fourth house. So, similar to what I just said for the Aries, while Mercury is in your fifth house in Virgo, it's a little bit different for you because it's Mercury in Virgo in your fifth house. For the Aries, it's Mercury and Leo in their fifth house. It's like paying attention to the health of your inner child. Sorry, guys, I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice. Help me, gods of the throat chakra right now. I've been talking a lot lately. The health of your inner child. How often do you connect to your inner child? And I'm a Taurus rising, and I am also guilty of that, not always connecting to my inner child. But honestly, when I do connect to my inner child, that is some of the most healing moments of my life, some of the most breakthrough moments of my life. So, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and risings, do some inner child healing, do some inner child work. You could just go online, type in inner child meditation, or look up different practices to do. And I guarantee you, you're going to be happy if you do that. Connecting to your inner child is very healing, and many indigenous cultures believe, and it agrees, and it resonates with me, that all our pain gets stored in our inner child, in our subconscious self, which is our inner child. So this is a time of healing for you, Taurus, is this retrograde. We've also got the Mercury retrograde when it moves into Leo in your fourth house. So looking at your living situation, I'm going through that as a Taurus rising. My husband and I are moving to Canada. So it's like reviewing the home situation. What do we want to keep from this home? What are we moving to the next home? It's a good time for you to clean out your home from August 14th to August 28th, to be paying attention to your home and family during that retrograde period. Also important to note, Taurus, that you currently have Pluto retrograde on your midheaven. Holy smokes. So this is very, very powerful. We're really feeling the Plutonic energies. And a lot of Tauruses can be going through very transformational experiences at the moment regarding their work, their career, their leadership, their inner authority, up-leveling in work and career. So that can be a really big theme. But, okay, if possible, try not to start anything new work-wise until we're out of specifically the Mercury retrograde, which is going to be August 28th. Okay, so if you are wanting to start a new business, put out a new project, wait until after August 28th. We'd rather have all planets direct if we're going to want to start something new, but if there's outer planets retrograde, it's okay. We can still start a new business. It's not the end of the world, but it is very important for Mercury to not be retrograde if possible when we want to do that. Also, Tauruses, when Uranus goes retrograde, which is going to be on September 1st, that's in your sign of Taurus. So September for Tauruses can feel like a really trippy, unstable, unexpected shocks and surprises month. Okay. So I've been feeling the message really strong for the Tauruses. Like, it's really important for you guys to learn how to go with the flow, how to be open with change, because we've got that Uranus and Taurus until 2026. So things are not going to feel any sense of stable or comfort until we're in 2026. So get used to it, Tauruses. And I promise that when you embrace change, it's going to really be easier for you to adjust to stepping into the age of Aquarius that we're stepping into. So sending lots of cosmic love your way, and happy retrograde city. Okay, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and risings. You guys are having the Mercury retrograde in your fourth house and in your third house. So in alignment for you to be spending time at home with your family while Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Virgo until August 14th. Some of you may be, reviewing, do you want to live where you're living? Are you wanting to move? Are you looking at different places to move? different properties or real estate to perhaps invest in even. And then when Mercury moves into Leo retrograde on August 14th, moving into your third house, the house of Gemini, that's your house. And Mercury rules the third house in astrology. So that can feel like there's a lot going on at the same time for you Geminis. From August 14th to August 28th, there can be a lot of moving parts, a lot of busyness. So please, 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 Geminis, excuse me, double check, triple check everything. Try not to sign any major documents if possible, because it's a Mercury retrograde in your third house. Don't buy a new car. Don't buy a new phone. Don't make any important purchases if possible. Okay. I know sometimes life gets in the way and we have to. And if so, just double check everything. But you're going to really be feeling the Mercury retrograde so strong. It can feel quite wonky from August 14th to August 28th. So just also be mindful of how you're communicating and what you're communicating, because there can be possibly more of a propensity for miscommunication. So sending lots of love to you Geminis. Happy retrograde city. Okay, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. You're having this Mercury retrograde in your third house and then moving into your second house. So similar to what I just said for the Geminis, while Mercury's retrograde in Virgo from now until August 14th, Cancers, you're probably feeling it very, very strong. Okay. Do we have any Cancers here in the live chat? If so, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Risings, let me know how you guys are feeling. With this retrograde energy right now, yeah, it can feel wonky for you guys because it's a retrograde city. It's a bunch of planets retro at the same time with Mercury in your third house. So double checking everything. Don't sign any major documents. Don't make any big major decisions all of a sudden during this retrograde. Wait until Mercury goes direct. And I'm feeling, for some reason, for the Cancers in particular, there can be miscommunications with friends, maybe some hiccups or weird things coming up with friends. So just being mindful of socializing with friends, what you're communicating, what's going on with that, because it can just be a little bit of a funky energy. And then when Mercury moves into Leo on August 14th, retrograde until the 28th, sorry, Leo, I meant to say the second house, that's definitely don't make any big purchases during that time, because that's the second house of our resources, of our income, of our day-to-day work as well, and our values. So it's an alignment while the Mercury retrograde is happening in Leo to be reassessing your values, relooking at your income streams. And because that Mercury is in Leo, like, is the way that you're making money in alignment with your values, and does it make you feel good? Okay, so something for you to reflect on during that time. And yeah, you guys are having Neptune on your midheaven right now, Pluto in your 8th house. Pluto rules the 8th house, and Uranus in your 11th house, and Jupiter in your 12th house. So you got 3 of the outer planets in their home houses. So there's a lot that can be feeling like it's lining up for you guys, Cancers, spiritually, in the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual realms. Okay. And I think this is actually a very magical time for the Cancers. So very, very spiritually activating. So making sure you're doing lots of self-care out there, Cancers. You magical creatures, and I'm sending lots and lots of love your way. Okay, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Risings, you're going to be having the Mercury retrograde in your second and first house, because it's going to be happening in the sign of Leo in part of the retrograde. So while Mercury is retrograde in Virgo in your second house until August 14th, reassessing the health, because Virgo is about health and practicality of your values and your day-to-day work and your income stream. And there can be some changes going on with that. There can be a lot of big career changes going on for Leos at the moment during this retrograde city, because Pluto in your 7th house, Pluto retrograde in your 7th house of committed relationships, people you work with. Uranus going to be going retrograde on September 1st in your 10th house. So I feel like a lot of Leo, Sun, Moon, and Risings can be possibly changing their work or maybe deciding to go in a completely new direction. So being honest with yourselves about those income streams and being open to the new and possibly unexpected opportunities that might be coming forward when Uranus goes retrograde in your 10th house. And when the Mercury retrograde enters the sign of Leo from the 14th to 28th, that's in your sign, in your first house. So really in alignment time for you to be reevaluating yourself, your identity, your foundations of life, how you are seen, your passions and your creativity and your life force, and really focusing on fun and the love and light and just being yourself. And Leos, you usually are shining in yourself. But if for whatever reason you feel like you're not, this retrograde season is a good time to be doing some of that healing work, like we got with the Healing Lagoon card, on how can you bring more of your authentic self out into the world, because we need your light, we need your sunshine, we need that Leo magic at this time. So sending lots of love your way, Leos. Happy retrograde city. Now we go to the Virgo sun, moon, and risings. Virgos are ruled by the planet Mercury, and Mercury is your ruler, and Mercury, of course, is in one of his 2 home signs in the sign of Virgo, your sign. So you are really feeling this retrograde. This is an awesome opportunity, this Mercury retrograde and retrograde city, to be doing healing work, to be taking care of your physical body with that Mercury retrograde in your first house. As I said, I don't think retrogrades are necessarily bad for starting a new health regimen, going to see a naturopath, going to see a dentist. I would try, if possible, not to do major surgeries or procedures, but taking care of your health is very, very in alignment during this time. And for example, Virgos, I'm not a Virgo sun, but I do have this Mercury retrograde happening in my 6th house of Virgo. And the other day, what day was it? Yesterday? I can't even remember what the days are. Yeah, yesterday, because yesterday was Monday. So I have this Mercury retrograde in my 6th house, Virgos, and my friend Astrid was over because we're preparing for those of you who see Astrid and I, sometimes we do astrology videos, and we're going to be doing one on Beyond Mystic. Long story short, we're going to do another Astro Live this Friday. So we were preparing for that. And then Astrid was telling me about this new thing called Zeno. Have you guys ever heard about this? I'm going to bring this up. It's this new, I don't know if the right word is supplement or natural balance oil that you take, and it's showing up in Dutch at the moment. But Astrid came over and she was like, do you want to try this new product that I've been using that everybody has their health issues healed when they do it, and it can balance your hormones, because I've been having issues with my hormones lately. And I was like, okay, sure. And you have heard of Zeno, Maria? That's cool. And Astrid took my blood. She took my blood with this little test, and it's been sent off to Norway, and it's a private company. It's not like a sketchy company. And I'm going to find out what my real levels of everything are in my body. And I'm going to start taking the Zeno. So I'm just sharing that, Virgos, as an example that it's okay to do kind of light health procedures, checking in on your health during this time, getting tests done if you need to get a test done, starting a new health regimen if you're feeling guided to do that, starting a new supplement, reviewing different supplements, right? Hi, Rick. Nice to see you here. So yeah, that is in alignment to do, paying attention to your health. And a lot of you Virgos moving forward are going to be booked and busy, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys are actually working in health or the healing arts, or just roles where you're being of service. And that's going to be very, very needed as we move forward in the coming years. So you taking care of your health during this Mercury retrograde is very important, very in alignment, very good in the astrology for you to be doing that. Then when Mercury, your ruler, moves into Leo, in from August 14th to 28th, when Mercury is retrograde in Leo, he's in your 12th house. So that's a good time to be spending more time behind the scenes, at home, resting, rejuvenating, healing. This is an amazing retrograde for you guys, Virgos, to be do physical and spiritual healing work with it in your 1st and 12th house. So sending lots of cosmic love your way, Virgos, and happy retrograde city. Okay, Libras, how are you guys feeling? My Libra sun, moon, and risings. You guys are having this Mercury retrograde in your 12th house while it's in Virgo, and then in your 11th house while it's in Leo. So while this Mercury retrograde is in Virgo in your 12th house, similar to what I just said to the Virgos, it's about reviewing your spiritual health. Okay. Virgo is all about health. The 12th house is all about our spirituality, our creativity, rest, rejuvenation, behind the scenes work. How have you been doing with your spiritual health? Okay. When's the last time that you meditated, or you did an energy healing, or you did something spiritual that was uplifting, or did some dream work, or had like a really good sleep or rest, or went on a retreat or something? This would be a good Mercury retrograde to like go on a retreat or book a retreat. Jens and I are doing our Canada retreat. Not trying to sell that to you guys, but just saying, doing like a wellness retreat, really taking care of your spiritual health, being not overbooked and busy, but making time for rest and rejuvenation to see what it has to offer you. And then while Mercury is retrograde in your 11th house, you're reviewing and reflecting on your group associations and friends and your long-term goals and intentions for the future. Okay. So there can be possibly, and it gives me no pleasure in saying this, Libras, okay, but I'm just reading the astrology. Some of you may have a little bit of drama, okay, with some friends or some group associations, because Leo can be very dramatic, and it's in your 11th house of friends, and it's a Mercury retrograde. So just being really mindful of your communication with your friends, with your community, with gadgets and technology. The 11th house is the internet and social media as well. So back up your computer, back up your phone, back up any devices that you use. Okay, and gonna be a good one for you guys. Sending lots of love your way, Libras, and happy retrograde city. Okay, Jill says, hi Jill, I work in functional medicine and we do bioidentical hormone replacement therapy for men and women. Wowzers, I've never heard about that before. That's very cool, Jill, and thank you so much for sharing that. I love all these different modalities that are coming out now, and there's so many amazing ways for us to heal ourselves and to help heal others. So I'm always excited to hear about those new things. So speaking about healing and very intense times, oh my God, Scorpios, it's a shit show for us right now, because we've got Mercury retrograde in the 11th house and also in the 10th house. But the really intense thing for the Scorpios, okay, is that our modern day planetary ruler, Pluto, is right at the bottom of our charts on our IC at the start of our 4th house, the most sensitive, vulnerable, private part of the chart, with Pluto retrograde at 0 degrees there. So this is a weird time for you Scorpios, where I'm going to be honest, some of us may be going through a healing crisis. Okay. There can be traumas from the past, from this life in our family or in like our ancestral karmic line, that can be coming up with for us with this Pluto retrograde right on our IC. So Scorpios, my greatest advice, if it resonates for you guys, is to do some form of therapeutic to help move through these times, whether that's spiritual psychotherapy, any psychotherapy that resonates with you, having a shaman or an energy healer or an astrologer, a spiritual advisor, whatever it is to help you navigate these times, because this can be some really intense shit, for lack of a better word, coming up to the surface from the deepest parts of your subconscious and your emotions. And traumas. So it's always fun to be a Scorpio, isn't it? And in this retrograde city, with not just Pluto retrograde, but a lot of other heavenly bodies retrograde as well, it's the past is coming forward for all of us. But you know, in astrology, the fourth house and the 12th house rules the past, and it's Pluto retrograde at the IC in the fourth house. So we can really be feeling some creepy things coming up from our past that need some healing work that we maybe haven't dealt with yet. Okay. So with the Mercury retrograde, that's happening in the 11th house and in the 10th house, inviting us to review and reflect on our friendships, our group associations, relationship with technology and social media, and also our work and how we're seen publicly. Okay. And when that Mercury retrograde is in Leo in our 10th house, we can be really feeling like, is the work that we're doing, is what we're being seen as in alignment with our passions? We got 2 cards that said passion in the collective reading. Leo is all about passion. So how can you integrate more creativity, more passion into the work you do, and maybe starting to implement that during the retrograde season can be a very positive thing. So I know what I said is very intense about Pluto being on the IC, but just going to be honest with you, Scorpios, and I am a Scorpio myself. So if you're a Scorpio that is struggling right now or going through a challenging time, you know, remember to reach out and ask for help. Remember that it's okay to ask for help. That can sometimes be one of Scorpio's greatest challenges, actually, and even a weakness. I think it's one of Scorpio's weaknesses generally that we feel so uncomfortable sometimes asking for help. Excuse me. So love you, Scorpios. I'm sending lots of scorpionic cosmic love your way. Now we move to the Saggies. Okay. Saggies, what the heck have we got going on for you guys? Well, Mercury is retrograde right now on your midheaven. Okay, so you're like really feeling it. And it's really about your work, how you're seen publicly. What I just said to the Scorpios also applies to you, but it's Mercury retrograde in Virgo in your 10th house. So how is your health being affected by the work that you do? Does the work make you feel good, or does the work make you feel drained? And if the work makes you feel physically drained, maybe it's not in alignment anymore. And maybe it's good to look at something else to possibly do that's in alignment with our passions and our values, as we were getting in the cards. Mercury retrograde, when he's in Leo, is going to be in your 9th house, which is your home house of Sagittarius. And that's about your beliefs. That's about your spirituality, spiritual teachers. There could be something spiritually, course-wise or teacher-wise, that can be coming to a completion point for you. There can be some beliefs that you've held on very passionately, Leo, that you're now releasing at the time of this retrograde. So I'm not feeling like the Saggies don't have it too intense right now. And I was laughing at you guys when I did the astrology of abundance course, because it just seems like the Saggies always have something or another on your side, and it's never really that bad for the Saggies. So you guys will be okay during this retrograde city, just focusing on your health, how your health is when you're at work, and that can let you know whether it's actually in alignment or not for you to do moving forward. So sending lots of cosmic love your way, Saggies. Happy retrograde city. And Capricorns, this retrograde city is freaking crazy for you because we've got Saturn. That was one of the cards we pulled. Your planetary ruler, Granddaddy Saturn, is retrograde in Pisces, where he does not like to be, in square to Jupiter, the ruler of Pisces. So you're really feeling some weights of responsibility, okay, which has been, and I'm a moon in Capricorn, that's been our freaking life story, okay? But it's time to, instead of work, and, you know, accomplishing, taking a sacred pause, which can be hard for the Capricorns, okay? That can be genuinely very hard for the Capricorns. And with Saturn in your 3rd house retrograde, your planetary ruler Saturn. You can feel the weight of maybe a lot of things that you need to take care of at the same time, having to do with your day-to-day work, having to do with your health, having to do maybe even with siblings or friends with that Saturn in your third house. And Jupiter in square to Saturn in your sixth house is really highlighting your health and your day-to-day work as well. Mercury retrograde is in your ninth house and it's in your eighth house. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So Mercury retrograde in your ninth house, while it's in Virgo, is about your philosophical health, your belief health. What are your beliefs, Capricorn? Why do you do what you're doing? I'm hearing Spirit say, who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to prove yourself to? Are you trying to prove yourself to someone else? Or are you trying to prove yourself to yourself? That's a good thing. If you're trying to prove yourself to someone else, let that shit go, okay? And sometimes Capricorns don't realize that they're doing that. They sometimes don't realize that they're working so hard and maybe not paying attention to the personal side of life because maybe there's some daddy issues or some granddaddy issues or some self-worth issues because they've been through some very challenging life experiences. So Capricorn, it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to make time for healing and rejuvenation and sacred pause during this retrograde city. It's okay to examine your beliefs. It's okay to do healing work. It's okay to ask for help. Similar to the Scorpios, Capricorns and Scorpios can both be similar in that way, where they don't like to ask for help, really. It can feel like embarrassing, or it can feel sometimes like you're being weak if you're asking for help, but actually that's a sign of strength, unless you're like an energy vampire asking for help all the time. But you guys are definitely not like that. So also when Mercury is retrograde in Leo in your eighth house, okay, it's about your shared finances, your relationship with your marriage partner, secrets being revealed. There can be some dramatic secrets being revealed, okay, because it's Leo in your eighth house. That's going to be interesting, but also really good for inner child, real deal inner child healing work with Leo in your eighth house and that Mercury retrograde in there. Just be mindful of what you're invested in at this time, if possible. And I know that there's crazy things going on with the financial markets, and I'm not a financial advisor, but if possible, don't make any crazy investments during this Mercury retrograde while he's in your eighth house, okay? Because there might be something you're overlooking. There might be something that you possibly didn't check properly. So if possible, wait until after August 28th to buy any major new investments, okay? And it's good for you to be reviewing your shared resources with your partner, having some deep conversations. Mercury retrograde in the eighth house it's good to have some deep conversations with your loved ones if you feel to do that. So sending lots and lots of love your way, Capricorns. Happy retrograde city. Okay, Aquarians, geez Louise, you guys are having Pluto retrograde right on your ascendant. Oh my goodness. Similar to what I said for the Tauruses, because they were having it on their midheaven. This can feel like an extremely transformational time. And I feel like a lot of Aquarians, I'm just feeling this intuitively for the Aquarians, like many of you have possibly had a totally life-changing experience during this summer season with Pluto retrograde at those critical degrees of 1 degree, 0 degrees Aquarius. So be open to the transformation and up-leveling that is occurring for you at this time. And definitely make time to integrate all that is activating, all that is coming online for you at this time, because this is big life changes of your identity and foundations of life with Pluto in your first house on your rising. Mercury retrograde happening in your eighth house and your seventh house. So very good time to have in-depth conversations with your loved ones, to be reviewing your spiritual health, your shadow side health. Also maybe doing some shadow work can be good. And with Mercury retrograde in your 7th house, some of you may be reviewing some committed relationships in love or work or just commitments you have in general and realizing that some of those might not be resonating anymore. So for some of the Aquarians, some of you guys might be going through a breakup, or some of you might be really wanting to heal, get to the bottom of situations going on with your committed life partners or your commitments to yourself. Not the best time, Aquarians, with Mercury retrograde in your 7th house to be starting a new relationship. There can actually be lovers from the past trying to come forward. So just being really mindful of that. Okay. Just because someone's coming from the past and all of a sudden they're like, I love you. I'm sorry. I was stupid. Is that actually a positive thing? Or have we been there? Have we done that? We bought the t-shirt. It's over. And it's just the universe kind of testing you on that. So be honest with yourself. If there's lovers from the past or work partners coming from the past coming forward, is it in alignment moving forward, or just is it a test and time to fully close the door? Sending lots of love to you, Aquarians. And last but not least, we have the Pisces. Pisces, you guys are really feeling it with Saturn and Neptune retrograde in your signs, in your 1st house, and that Saturn retrograde in Pisces in square to Jupiter in your 4th house, and Jupiter is your traditional planetary ruler. So you guys can be feeling like a fish out of water. You guys can be feeling really emotional, can be going through some heavy Saturnian reality checks that might not be comfortable. But I was really channeling for the Pisces when I did the Astrology of Abundance workshop this past Sunday, that you guys are such magical creatures right now that are learning how to balance your oversensitivity, to balance your gifts with the need for structure, with the need for getting shit done, moving forward in your healing and magical gifts, and not letting the oversensitivity overcome you. This is a huge test right now in this retrograde city of, are you going to let the sensitivity overcome you, or are you going to learn the tools to cope with that? Okay. What tools do you use, Pisces, if you ever feel moody, depressed, anxious, overly empathic? This is about your self-care routines. This is very much about your health. This Mercury retrograde is in your 6th house of health and in your 7th house of relationships. So there can be some cutting out, some cleansing out with the Mercury in Virgo in your 7th house of relationships that might be toxic to you. Okay. And you really being aware of your health, of your boundary needs. And it feels like for the Pisces, there's something that needs to be released big time with this retrograde city. Pluto's in your 12th house retrograde, Saturn and Neptune in your 1st house retrograde. This is a big time of release and initiation of stepping even deeper into your magical gifts. But, I'll share a little personal example with you guys, Pisces. When I first started my spiritual journey, I thought, okay, none of this, my body doesn't matter, the physical world doesn't matter. I'm just this soul having a spiritual experience, and none of it's real and it's all an illusion. Actually, we're in a physical body that is not healthy. Oh, what's happening? Is there fireworks going to go off? I don't know. Sometimes the streaming program does that sometimes. That just distracted me. Sorry, Pisces. What was I saying there? We need to have a healthy body. We need to have a healthy emotional health, mental health, to be able to be spiritually ascended and have these magical gifts and, astral travel and do all those magical things. You have to actually be really, really grounded, because if you're not really grounded and you feel like you're having those experiences, they might not even be real. They could be like very illusory. They could be lower astral experiences, if you will. So really just honoring the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual connection. And I'm not trying to bash you, Pisces. I'm trying to help you because I love you. And I know that you're all very, very magical, but you're up leveling in your gifts. And it's time to get even more grounded than you already are. okay, to step into those gifts during this retrograde city. So hope that resonated with you. And yeah, Jill says, I'm dealing with issues with one of my daughters-in-law right now. Oh no, Jill, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sending you and Steve so much love. That is not easy to have to deal with right now. That's not fun. So sending lots and lots of love to you. And yeah, there's a lot of, like I've been hearing this past week, Jill and everybody, a lot of people having issues with loved ones in their life kind of coming up out of the blue. Jens and I had that this past week with someone. So not fun to deal with. There can be there's a lot of healing going on at the moment. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this retrograde city video. Thank you so much to everyone that's joined me live. And thank you so much to everyone that is watching the replay. I just want to mention again, before I finish up, that I hosted this Astrology of Abundance live workshop on the Beyond Mystic Academy, that the replay is now available if you'd like to check that out. It's $33 US, and it's a 4.5-hour live workshop that I did sharing the most important financial transits of 2024 and 2025. And I did abundance readings for each of the 12 signs as well. So you can check that out at the link in the description. And also, my husband Jens and I are going to be hosting this Soul Family Retreat weekend in Canada, the last weekend in September. We are so, so excited. We're going to have so much fun doing daily meditation, ceremonies, live lectures, ecstatic dance, sound healing in the beautiful, magical Niagara region of Canada. So I'm so, so excited. And thank you so much to everyone that's already signed up. All the details are on my website, megmoonbeam.com, and the link is in the description as well. And if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, those are available at the link in the description as well. And I think I only have like 3 readings left for 2024, and then I'm going to be fully booked into 2025. So thank you so much to everyone that's been booking readings with me as well. I'm so grateful to be able to be doing astrology full-time, and I really hope that you enjoy all the content that I put out there. And go check out, if you haven't seen, my best friend Sunny has started doing weekly pick a crystal readings here on my channel, and I've made a whole playlist for that if you go to my channel, Sunny's Pick a Crystal Readings. So she's like unbelievably intuitive and accurate. If you haven't checked out Sunny's readings, go check that out here on my channel. And I love you guys so, so much. I'm wishing you the most magical retrograde city time. And I will see you all very, very soon for some more content here on my channels. Love you guys so much. Mwah. Bye.